Hello, YouTube land, and welcome to the Get In and Get Out Nintendo podcast, episode 68. Caleones, do you feel it? One more to go. That's the big celebration for the big 6-9. I am your host, Dantes. And of course, joining me like always, Caleones. How you doing, Caleones?
Hey, how you doing, Dantes? How you doing, everybody? And yeah, today is we're gonna have a pretty interesting podcast. There's certain things that we're gonna be talking about. Yes, we already had a quote unquote live reaction to the latest Nintendo Direct that we had this previous week. It was more so a live reaction for Dantes because I had already seen it. He hadn't. And there was a lot of things that people were complaining about. So he tried to stay away from those to really see what was going to be his reaction or how he would perceive things without being held by outside voices. So that was a pretty cool one that we had last Thursday. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and see it. But we're going to touch upon those things again and other news as well. So Dantes, go ahead and take it away.
First, it's that guy 6969. Sorry to let you waiting. It's Caleone's fault. Ciro Propenso, what is going on? Events, what is going on? Toys and More Club, what is going on? What is going on? Anyway, let's do that rigmarole because we got a lot to say today about Smash. So I want to welcome everybody to the Get In and Get Out Nintendo podcast, episode 68. Just one more. Right here at the Force In Unison gaming channel. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and hit that bell so you can make these two crazy MFs happy. Also, remember, you can get this podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes for free. Rate us over there. You can show us love. Also, description box below. Tomorrow, PlayStation Mondays. Maybe getting back in schedule. Wednesday, Nintendo Wednesday. Friday, Fortnite Friday. Saturday, Force In Unison streams. And, of course, this beautiful show on Sundays. Also, Facebook at Force In Unison Gaming. And finally, and Dantes says finally, go to forceinunison.wordpress.com and get some clicks and love to my boy, Caleones. With all that said, Caleones, are you ready? I said, are you ready? Smash time for the 1,000 in attendance. And the 12 people watching around the world. Let's get ready for Reggie's Hot Topics of the Week.
My body is ready.
My body is ready. Caleones, take it away with the summary of the Smash Direct, and then we'll go little by little on what we like, what we didn't like, and basically general thoughts now that we absorbed the internet in 4 days of Smash happiness, I guess, and toxicity too. So we shall see. Caleones, take it away. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
I was gonna run with it real quick, but I was gonna say, like just a quick round of hey, is that guy 6969, Ciro Propenso. Hello to Evans colleagues. Toys and More Club is here as well. Margie G is here. Dantes the Gamer, and the Press Child and Linky just popped out as well saying yo. So hey everybody. But yes, we are going to be talking about
gameplay. Let me put gameplay.
And Path Jeff, hi. Smash, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate Direct, and overall our experiences not only from the Direct itself, but from everything that has been happening out in social media, reactions, and everything else. So basically, for the most part, the last Nintendo Direct happened. We had the reveal of 3 new characters or full-fledged fighters. So of course we had Ken from Barbie. Actually from Street Fighter. Sorry about that. We had the Incineroar, one of the newest Pokemon added to the list, and of course we had one of the greatest characters ever on the roster, Piranha Plant. And with that, the internet exploded. So
keep going. What else did they show?
They also gave more. Actually, they went in depth with what Spirits is. spirits, how you can actually collect them. They work like, Dantes said, basically the best explanation is like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where you can attach different blades to different characters. They give you like different abilities and things like that. You can actually also level up those, spirits. So you can, increase the level of your fighters, and you can even take those spirits and send them out on trips, on expeditions to, get items and things, or complete different tasks, come back to you, and make your characters and theirs level up and tougher as well. So that was a pretty cool concept. It tells you that Sakurai really, really, really loves the Xenoblade Chronicles series, and he's paying tribute to the game not only with certain characters being shown, but also with how the game plays. Talking about Xenoblade Chronicles 2 characters on the game, we had our first glimpse of Rex on the game, but it wasn't really Rex on the game.
Come on, that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
It was a Mii fighter with Rex's outfit. He did say on the video that the game was already well into production when Xenoblade Chronicles 2 came out, so he couldn't incorporate the fighters into it. So he wanted to pay tribute with the costumes. There will be, and like he said, at the very least, 5 new DLC characters added. If you purchase them separately, they're going to be $5.99, which includes the fighter, a stage, and probably like 2 or 3 different songs per fighter. Or you can get 5 different fighters with their stages and their songs for a total of basically $25. So basically, if you buy them separately, it's going to be either $6 or $30 together. Or if you buy them all together, it's going to be $25. They haven't announced what characters those will be, but people are arguing, they're clawing at each other, and they're throwing stones, and they're borderline like jumping out of a cliff if their favorite fighters don't make it. So they're trying to make a loud voice so that Sakurai can consider some characters to be added to the roster. So aside from that, we actually had our the adventure mode shown for the first time. They showed it was a pretty nice looking trailer. And it was reminiscent of Avengers and the ending to it. So it was pretty cool. Adventure mode, they did show it in a small trailer, but they didn't go into detail on it. So that tells me that there's other things to learn from it. They just didn't want to ruin it for the people, so that way you can get to experience it once the game comes out. So I don't know, I guess right now, there's going to be a total of 74 fighters. More are going to be coming in the form of DLC, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. But Dantes, anything that you want to talk about specifically, or maybe other things?
Well, let me start by saying first with the Xenoblade portion, of course, because I'm a huge Xenoblade fan. Like, you guys don't know that already, but I'm still hopeful that Rex will make it. I know that Mr. Sakurai will honor my wish and forget about Waluigi. We don't care about Waluigi. We need Rex and Mythra on Smash right now. He just gave us a little bit of a taste of how Rex is gonna look with the costume. People were saying, "Oh, he already made him as a Mii costume." You're not, yeah, just a taste. You're not gonna make it an official fighter. You guys don't know that. There's been Mii costumes that are fighters, right? So that doesn't mean anything, right? Because everybody's like, "How do we don't want Rex and Pyra because he takes a spot from Waluigi and stuff like that." Oh, come on, guys, come on. He loves Xenoblade, so you guys gonna have to suffer it. But you know what? If he still doesn't make Rex a playable character, I will be fine. I already got Smash. I think there's plenty of characters with 74 characters to pick. I am not going to cry. I'm not going to moan. I think everybody has a favorite. I know that my mains are going to be Cloud, Link, of course, my boy, Shulk, with visions. He saved the day. He saved Kirby on that introduction of the adventure mode, right? But anyway, my point to that is that there's a character for everybody. Now, I understand that if you feel frustrated because your favorite character has not made it, I think there's more than easy to find one that you would like. There has to be. There's 74 characters. What other fighter out there right now give you 74 characters? You know what other fighters would do? Street Fighter or Soul Calibur, all that stuff, they will give you 20 and you better like it, and then you're going to buy the other 20 in DLC little by little. That's what they're giving you. You're getting 74 characters here. That is crazy, crazy, crazy amount. So that's why I understand the frustration in a sense, because Nintendo created it. Honestly, sometimes I would have wished that Nintendo would have kept Smash just with Nintendo characters, because then people would not be, oh, I want Steve for Minecraft here, or I want the guy from Undertale here. I'm like, what? Really? Really? Oh, no, what was the other one? Banjo-Kazooie. I want Banjo-Kazooie. I'm like, really? Really? You guys are asking for characters that are not Nintendo characters. There's a higher chance of getting Nintendo characters in there, like Rex and Mithra or Pyra, instead of freaking Banjo-Kazooie. Again, Steve for Minecraft. It's like crazy. Like, people are asking crazy stuff. And then if they don't get their characters, they're all like, oh, Sakurai does not respect the fan base. Just because you didn't get your favorite character in the game, Sakurai does not respect the fan base. How crazy is that? He has to balance 74 characters. You guys don't know. Like, you probably, because you're casual gamers, or casual Smash gamers like me, you will notice that. But like hardcore Smash tournament players, they will notice if there's imbalances between the fighters in the game, right? So again, it is not easy to have 74 characters plus 6 DLC characters to the game. So again, I know I'm going a long rant here with the characters specifically. I'm just going to say this, guys, take it easy. I honestly, again, like I said, I honestly wish that Nintendo did not brought ever third-party characters, because maybe the crazy ask wouldn't be there, right? But I know that the main character that created a lot of wow is Waluigi. I don't get it. I honestly don't. But hey, if someone who supports Waluigi, I know Evans, I think you mentioned that you like Waluigi, explain it to me. I need to understand why those Smash fans want Waluigi that much. I really need to understand that. But anyway, I'm gonna run down quickly a couple of things so I can let Caleones talk, of course. First, I like the Direct. It was good. I believe that I wasn't that involved. I did read that the Direct was bad before I went to watch it. And you know what? Maybe that helped, because when I went to the Direct, I'm like, hey, it's probably going to be bad. Aside from the two before were not that good. I came out of it with, this is pretty cool. I like the Direct. I like the spirits. I know that a lot of people are really mad about losing the trophies. But you know what? Now think about the stickers of spirits. You want to call it? A lot of people are calling it stickers. Think about the spirits. Like they're like a collectible, kind of like a trophy. Yeah, it's not three-dimensional, but then you have a purpose with them, right? So I think that that's good, that you have a purpose to use those spirits, like they're calling them in the game. I also like that those spirits are kind of like an RPG mechanic. Depending on what you find, what you use, you're gonna maybe able to get a strong character. You can go online if you can use stickers. I'm not sure, but if you can go online, you know the builds that some people could come up with. Some people that could struggle in Smash, if they're smart with their spirits loadout, they could at least survive against competitor players. So, you know, you got a chance in a sense. I also like that with spirits, you got a lot of representation of a lot of characters that you may never see in a Smash game, right? Like, I'm seeing a lot of Xenoblade characters, and I don't know that would never make it to a Smash game thanks to the spirits. So I'm happy about that. The other one is the story mode. Seems interesting. I hate that Kirby was the one who survived. But you know what? My boy Shulk saved Kirby's ass. I'm saying it right here. Shulk saved Kirby's ass. He saw the vision, he went Monado speed, and boom, Kirby survived. That's the reason why. He saw that, what was it Caleones said last week? 1,000 possibilities, and there was only one possibility that could make it survive. So, of course, my boy Shulk is kind of like Doctor Strange, you know what I'm saying? But interesting. I'm hoping that that happens is when you start the adventure mode, you start with Kirby, but then you start opening with other characters their own section of adventure mode. That could be interesting. And of course, I have to give props with a lot of the characters. The last thing that I will say, though, I did not like that you have to unlock the characters. It is what it is. But we shall see how hard is it for me to get Shulk out of there. And the other thing, yeah, Piranha, you know, you expected a better character. I don't care. I'm not going to cry. I wish there was a better character there, but you know what? It's funny. A lot of people are crying, so I always like to see people crying on the internet. So I guess I don't mind that at all. So that's kind of like my overview of my impressions and review. Thumbs up for me. Best Smash Direct this year. And I'm looking forward now to the game. You know what? I may not play it hardcore like other people, but I may dabble here and there, you know, and have it always on my Switch so you can quickly open the portable and do some things like collect stickers and stuff like that. So I think that there's some aspect of it that they built with portability in mind. So again, I'm sorry I keep going, but that's another credit to Sakurai. I think he came up with concepts that are gonna work really well in portable mode. A lot of single player stuff that you typically would not play in the game in portable mode when you play multiplayer, because you want to be at home, you want to have the Ethernet connection. Of course, it's peer-to-peer, thanks Nintendo. So you know you want a stable connection as possible. So that means that he built a lot of this stuff for portable mode, so then you can dabble with the game. So, you know, when I'm in vacation this December, you guys won't see me for a long time because I'll be dabbling with Smash, and then I'll get my plats because I only got 10 plats this year in PlayStation Land. So I need to pick up with that. Anyway, I'm done. Just quickly, Evans explained to me people want Waluigi because he has a purple hat and purple is cool. Oh, that makes so much sense. And then Genie, this roster was mind-blowing. I don't get why people are getting mad. 100% agree. Anyway, I'm done, Caleones. I spoke a lot. Take the floor, my friend.
Okay, so I mean, like Genie said, you know, the roster is extremely big. There's right now 74 characters. There's gonna be, yeah, I kind of walked into that one, but there's gonna be 5 more DLC characters at the very least that are gonna be added. You know, increasing the roster to 79. You know, one away from the 80 that Genie was talking about. But this is from the Wii U, the Smash Brothers Wii U version, and the Mii Fighter costumes that they had on the Wii U version. So they had Isabelle. Isabelle was actually a Mii costume on the Wii U version, and then became a full-fledged character now on the Switch. Then we also had the Inklings, where outfits on the Wii U, they became characters on the Switch.
Oh, there are outfits in this game too.
Yeah. We also had the King K. Rool was an outfit on the Wii U version and became a full-fledged character on the Switch. And same thing with Chrom, was a Mii character costume on the Wii U version and became a full-fledged character on the Switch. So you also see the Black Knight's armor was another outfit. It's a spirit now. And same thing for other fighters like Akira was an outfit. It became a character as well. So you're seeing the progression of some of the outfits, becoming either full-fledged characters or just either spirits or echo or things like that. So just be patient. Be patient. The roster will continue to increase. Nintendo, what they talked about on the last financial, on the quarter, I believe it was Q3 forecast, they actually talked about how they're going to continue with more like DLC expansions and things like that to increase the value and the life of their games. And Smash, of course, is going to be a perfect game to increase the life, and with in the way of different DLCs, adding characters, adding stages, adding music. So of course, I believe that they're going to sell great. Of course, the Piranha Plant amiibo are it's already sold out in Amazon, and that was after it was #1 on the sales list. So the demand is there. People are going to be getting those things. And rest assured, Nintendo will continue to bring and deliver other characters to the game in the form of DLC. So at some point, I'm pretty sure some characters like Gino was one of the ones that is a very
again another third-party character that everybody wanted.
Yeah.
Again, why those weird requests? That's the only thing that I'm like, guys. Again, I wish Nintendo would have kept it Nintendo. Honestly, I like Snake being there, I like Cloud being there, but you know what? If it's gonna make this that now Smash has become like a battleground because people want their preferred character, Crash Bandicoot, or or Spyro the Dragon and stuff like that. There, come on, guys. This is a Nintendo game first and foremost, right? They're not gonna bring every third-party character. They give some good nuts. You got Shovel Knight there as an assist trophies. You know what? That's fine. Shantae, also there as an assist trophy, that's fine too. But again, that's where Nintendo's maybe hurting Smash in a sense, because now there's the expectation that you're going to get characters that are not Nintendo related. So.
Yeah, for the first time that they said everyone is here, that should have been it. Like everybody should have been happy and not really, talk about anything else. So, I don't know. Like it's sometimes when it comes to gamers and we just, I'm not saying we, but gamers as a whole, there's certain communities that they expect way too much, especially when you give them everything from the very beginning. They just keep asking for more, and they're never satisfied. So, I'm seeing over here that PSV Xbox said that, the processor is inside, buying a Switch this December, I give up. So it seems like he's finally going to be picking up a Switch after the roster reveal and everything else has been done. And even Kalis, and I believe Ginny was talking about how the Joy-Cons are going to be suffering because of how intense the gameplay on Smash is. I'm already having issues with my Joy-Cons anyway, so they kind of don't stay centered on certain games. They don't move by themselves. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be using the Pro Controller for the game. I ordered it with the Special Edition Pro Controller for Smash as well, because I know Joy-Cons are not going to be able to handle it, especially if I want to, go in my little mind, like all pro with the game, which I'm not going to be able to do, but I'm going to think that I am. But yes, Ginny G said that they wanted Crash to be in the game, but yes, exactly. Sakurai has done so much already. Let the man rest. And this direct, he looked much better than the other one. And the other one, he had like pitch red eyes on there that he even had to apologize on the direct because of it. But he deserves to get some rest. I know he's going to continue working on more characters, but at some point he needs a rest. And Dantes, don't hate on Kirby, okay? Do not hate on Kirby, because we know that Sakurai chose Kirby because that is his first character that he ever created when he was 18 years old on the first video game that he ever worked on, okay? So do not hate on Kirby.
I will hate him until the day that I die, Caleones. Anyway, I don't hate Kirby. I just think that he's the most uninteresting Nintendo character of all of them. Sorry, that's how I feel. My bad, sue me. But anyway, again, I expect that story mode, they're gonna open more characters. They're gonna, they're gonna make it work a while. I think that's gonna be fun, because you saw it. You saw Mario. You saw Shulk, of course. You saw a lot of characters in their own sections in the story. So, hey, it's all good. I'm all for it. Like I said, I'm happy for the game. That last direct sold me on it. Honestly, I wasn't that hype. And honestly, the reason I wasn't that hype is because I was a little bit tired of the community itself because of all the crying. And the only thing that I could criticize about this too is that, okay, they announced that there are going to be 6 DLC characters. So then now for the next year, until those 6 characters come out, we're going to be hearing about what's the next character Smash. And every time Nintendo's outside direct, like the Nindies, people are going to be asking, when is the next character of Smash coming out? That is the only bad part, Caleones. Hopefully I am wrong. Hopefully it will do good. But anyway, we shall see. Caleones, any closing thoughts? Because maybe we bring, since we're talking about Smash, we bring the next news together, because I think it's an interesting discussion about Nintendo sales and how Nintendo is doing and how much Nintendo has sold as of now for this physical year. So, Caleones, I'm going to let the Smash gameplay keep going. But that way we can bring Smash into the discussion, because I think we're going to bring it up if Nintendo will reach their goal, yes or no. But anyway, let's go ahead with the next piece of news.
Well, and I want to maybe correct myself. I did say that 74 characters on the roster plus 5 for the DLC. But I believe Ginji is correct. I'm probably not counting Piranha Plant because the character will not be releasing when the game releases. It's going to come out sometime in February. So that would make it 80 characters total. But yes, going over to the next piece over here is about, we're talking about the October's 2018 financial report from Nintendo and their expectations that they're going to be getting the 20 million consoles sold for the fiscal year in 2018, which ends, of course, on March 31st, 2019. At this point, Nintendo Switch has sold In and I guess in those first 6 months of the fiscal year, they sold 5.07 million units of the Nintendo Switch, which makes them short roughly 15 million units. So that tells me that, and this is counting the data ending in September. So for starting in October, so that'll be October, November, December, January, February, and March. 6 months left, and they need to sell 15 million Nintendo Switches during that time. Dantes, I'm not exactly sure if it's possible. I said that I feel like they may not get to the 20 million.
Well, before we go into that, go touch the good news too, because Nintendo did outsold the Switch, outsold the GameCube. That's one on their first year. So go into that, and then quickly just go into the games that have sold the most on the Switch as of now from Nintendo. Let's do those two, and then we go in that detail.
Yeah, so overall, I mean, the Switch is selling great. Like, it's sold so far 22.86 million, the hardware, which is, of course, more than the 21.74 from the GameCube, which, you were, talking about that. The next one on the list is going to be the Nintendo 64, which sold 32.98 million. So, of course, if Nintendo were to meet the forecast that they have for the system, then it would overtake the Nintendo 64 as well, sometime early next year. Aside from that, they had software sales of 42.13 million, which means that people are buying games. That's the big thing about the Nintendo Switch, is that people are buying games, and a lot more so than on the Wii U previously. Of course, that has to do with better third-party support on the system, and a pretty good lineup of indie games as well that are coming over. So I'm really proud of how people are embracing not only the Nintendo games, but third-party and indie games as well. And aside from that, from the software sale, they were, they're saying over here that they had digital sales increase of 71.7 over last year, and the games increase, the 42.13 is actually an increase of 91.3% over the same period as last year. And that's very important because we're not counting January, February, and March, or January and February at least, because the Nintendo Switch wasn't out during that time last year. So this is very important. The attach rate, that's Dantes always refers to it as the system that has the most attach rate of any other is usually king on the market.
Oh, so, software sales, not attach rate. Software sales.
But attach rate of software.
I always hate attach rate. I hate the conversation. Like, give you an example. Persona only sold like close to 2 million or so units. But then that fans could come, but that's sucky attach rate. Atlus is laughing at the bank right now. They don't give a hell about attach rates. They only care about sales. But what I always say is software sales is the king. So in this case, Nintendo selling software is a good sign.
Okay, so before we go over to the specifics of the game sales, or do you want to talk about the specific games and how much they sold, or do you want to say something about this first?
Go into the games and how specific how they sold.
Okay, so Nintendo did release their list of their millions software sellers. So number one, of course, is Super Mario Odyssey. So far, it sold 12.17 million games. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold 11.71. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has sold 10.28 million. Splatoon 2, 7.47 million. 1-2 Switch, 2.64 million. Mario Tennis Aces, 2.16 million. ARMS, 2.10 million. Your favorite character, Kirby, Star Allies, 2.10 million. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, 1.67 million. And Xenoblade Chronicles 2 at 1.53 million. Which, at least it was an increase of over 100,000 games sold, during that span. So, people are still looking into it, not as much as the other ones, but still, people are grabbing.
I'm hoping it gets to 2. Yeah. If it gets to 2, I'll be a happy man for sure. But yeah, that's Persona numbers there. Everybody's giving crap that Persona is the greatest RPG this generation. You know what? If Xenoblade gets to 2, you don't have them to be talking differently. Anyway, I'm joking. Those 2 great games. So yeah, Odyssey sold quickly. Eddie, welcome. Mauricio. Hey, there's DLC. There's still chance of DLC. Don't worry. Always have hope. Mostly for me, Rex and Pyra. Yes. Genie, Mario Odyssey selling fire. So Mario sells great. So Mario and Zelda selling big numbers. Nintendo should be happy. Software sales. This is something that the Switch, everybody's saying, oh, the Switch, the Wii. The Wii was great. Oh, they won that generation. The Wii did not sell software, people. They only sold Nintendo games. Nintendo is selling software all around. That means more money on their bank. So awesome for that. Also awesome for the growth. Now, let's go a little bit into the sales. Now, congratulations, Nintendo. You passed the GameCube. I believe you will pass the N64. I stand with my prediction that the Switch is going to land around 70 to 80 million consoles sold. But I will say this, Caleones, right? The reason I still stand with the 70 and 80, because now you're starting to see, I think, things balance out a little bit. The Switch was selling crazy the first part, but it has slowed down, right? It has slowed down. There's no denying it. You could say that it maybe has slowed down because Nintendo has not given this year like proper monster games. Give you an example. There were system sellers. Octopath Traveler, I want to give props. It sold system. But we're not talking here Octopath Traveler in the same vein as a Mario Odyssey or a Zelda Breath of the Wild. We can't say that. So Nintendo really haven't had that monster game. But that's coming, right? It's coming. We got Pokemon and we got, of course, Smash, the daddy of them all this year. So then that's the question. Is it too little too late, Caleones? Or they will make the target. Now, the other question you have to ask, you say business-wise, does it make sense that if Nintendo, which a lot of people thought they were crazy trying to say they're going to sell 20 million in the fiscal year, if they don't hit that, how will investors take that? You know, investors take crap easily. They could easily, quickly, oh, Nintendo fell. You promised us this much sales. You promise us this much money, and does not happen. That is a big question. But Nintendo, to me, Caleones, could offset that by saying, look how much we're selling software-wise. We're selling a lot of software right now. We're selling third-party. We're making that money, so it's still good. So I believe there's always a silver lining with this, that Nintendo will somehow pull through. I don't think it will get to the 20 million. I'm calling it in my prediction. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm calling it they will not make the 20 million. You're only done in basically the first half of the year, 5 million. You basically have to sell 15 million in the back half of the fiscal year. That is crazy numbers, Caleones. So that is tough to do. So that's what I do believe the Nintendo Switch has slowed down. Now, here's something that I wanted to bring. I believe with this number today, I'm not an insider. I'm not going to say a little birdie told me after the fact or after things happen. I believe that no later than 2020, you will get a Switch Pro, Caleones. You now, more than ever, will get a Switch Pro. And the reason I say that is PlayStation and Xbox have used people buying their console 2 times, 3 times to beef up their numbers. Because in reality, if you think about it, Caleones, last generation, the gaming industry was healthier. Let me explain that. Let me explain what I'm saying. The Switch sold over 100 million, right? The PlayStation sold over 80 million consoles. The Xbox 360 sold over 80 million consoles, Caleones, right? You're talking about 260 million consoles sold between the big 3, right? Now think about this generation, right? PlayStation has sold 80-something million, close to 90. But then the Xbox, we don't know the numbers, as of last time, close to around 35 million. The Wii U, you know, that was a huge failure, 12 million. And now the Switch comes in, and then it's around 20 or so. So if you count the Wii U and the Switch, it's around 30 million. You see the huge dip in sales, in console sales, in the industry per se. So now those consoles owners are selling more to the hardcore gamer. And what I mean with that is the hardcore gamer, the one who buys your system 2, 3 times. Oh, the Xbox One S? Oh, the Xbox One original, I bought it. The Xbox One S, I bought it. Oh, the Xbox One X, I bought it. 3 times the same person buying the console. And the reason for that is 2. First, casuals have left. Casuals on mobile. You can't deny it. The Wii was an outlier for Nintendo where casuals bought that system, but casuals don't buy games. So you can see that with the inflated sales of the Wii because of the casuals. Now, you take the casuals out, who you got, Caleones? The hardcore gamers. And PlayStation and Xbox have been selling to those specifically because now they're buying PlayStation. Oh, the bundle for Spider-Man. I saw people buying the same system again because it was Spider-Man bundle. Or, they want this bundle. Oh, when the Pro came out, they came and went to the Pro. I was one who bought the Pro. At first, I didn't buy it. I decided to buy it because when I saw Horizon Zero Dawn, I was like, damn, son. And then I decided to buy it. But that's, I will say this. That was a mistake. I probably should not have bought it because I don't like to support. And the reason I say that is because a lot of people complain about, PC gaming is so expensive. PC gaming is so expensive, right? PC gaming right now is becoming cheaper because if you count a person buying an Xbox 3 times, you could have bought a strong PC for that same amount of price. So who cares? So again, anyway, well, my point is that those sales are getting inflated. So with these sales numbers, the Switch needs to bring the Switch Pro to stay with the mindset of the hardcore gamers. We want better graphics. We want better performance. They need to bring the Switch Pro or the Switch sales will keep slowing down, Caleones. It doesn't matter how great of games they come out later on. They will keep slowing down. You need another to bring it back to life. But that's my opinion. Anyway, Caleones, go ahead. Oh, that, sorry.
Yeah, and I mean that's it's a really good point. It's something that actually did work out for the Nintendo 3DS, the DS as well, and it's because they don't really do it with hardware, but with home consoles, but with handhelds they've been doing it all the time. They had the 3DS, then they had the 3DS plus, they had the XL, then they had the 2DS, then they had the new 3DS, the 2DS XL, and like so many different combinations, colors, bundles, and things like that. That for the most part, you had some of the people out there, it was just the same person or the same people buying them over and over again just to collect. Because there's a big crowd of collectors out there that they just want to collect all the different variations, things like that from the systems. There's others that they have. They have multiple people in their family. Like we already have 2 Nintendo Switches out in our house. I want to get a 3rd one because I want to have one for myself, for my daughter, for my son. Wife doesn't really play that much, so I'm still trying to convince her. But
I'm fine with that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people who will buy multiple systems. Right? Like I'm comfortable. Like I got 2 PlayStation 4s, but it makes me comfortable because I got one in the basement and one in the bedroom. In the basement is where I do the streaming and when we do this channel and whatever. So it's easy for me to set up and X, Y, and Z instead of me moving a PlayStation around, right? It makes sense. And the Switch, again, I do have multiple. My son has one. I got one, which makes sense because you're buying one for each. But there's people there who don't got family, and they're buying the Spider-Man edition, or they're buying the Xbox Taco Bell edition that came out just the other day. You know what I'm saying? It's like crazy in a sense. And I just laugh when console gamers, I'm going to defend the PC gamers now, come in and says, oh, but PC gaming is so expensive. You know what? PC gaming, you do one big-ass expense, and then you get cheaper games. You don't pay for online, and then you don't need to upgrade for a while if you know how to purchase it. Right. If you
unless you're a hardcore PC gamer.
Unless you're a hardcore PC gamer. Yeah. Like I have my first tower, 4 years, Caleones. Nothing, no issues at all. I did buy a laptop, a really strong laptop, but again, that was more in my head thinking about this channel, about playing video games, because now I edit in minutes, right? Instead of taking me hours when I used to just to process a video, right? So again, it's just what do you use it for? But my point is that console gamers can come back and say, oh, PC gaming is so expensive when you're buying 2 and 3 consoles. You see what I'm saying? If you put them all together, it's the same thing. But anyway, aside from that, I know that people are commenting that Smash is enough for Nintendo. I disagree. Smash is not enough for Nintendo. If Smash was enough for Nintendo, the Wii U would have sold. Smash was not enough. Mario 3D World was not enough. Zelda Breath of the Wild was not enough for the Wii U. And I know by that time Breath of the Wild came out, Wii U was dead. But I'm just giving you an example of Mario Kart on the Wii U was not enough. Nintendo needs good hardware, smart hardware, because the Wii U as a hardware was bad. The concept was cool, but it had a short range with a tablet. The controller was too big for the tablet. They were trying to recreate the 3DS in a sense on console gaming, did not work out. So the concept was bad. Even though it had good games, I'll defend the Wii U. I think it had good games. It had good exclusives. But again, you can't survive with exclusives. Smash is not enough. And yes, Switch is selling well because it is a concept. And I think the Switch will sell this Christmas. You know what I'm thinking they're going to land, Caleones? I think they're going to land around 15 million Switch sold. That's where they're going to land physical year. And that is great. That's still pretty good. But you're seeing the slowdown, Caleones. And my point is to give that oomph on the slowdown, you need to bring the Switch Pro. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm gonna be. I say that it's probably gonna be around the 18 million consoles sold, and that's because there's still 6 months left in the year. I know that October is one of those. October's already over, and I don't think Nintendo sold that many consoles in October, especially since everybody's waiting for the holiday season, for Black Friday, and getting those deals. So they're probably not too prone to invest beforehand unless there's a big game releasing. And of course, the big games are not releasing until November 16, which is the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee versions, and December 7, which is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. As far as how those games are going to do, I believe that once Smash comes out, there's going to be 4 months that the game is going to be out on the system before the fiscal year ends, and it's going to give a big push. Pokemon is going to be out for 5 months until the fiscal year ends. Then it depends on what Nintendo does next year, because I think Smash and Pokemon are not going to be enough to get to the 20. But if they can somehow do a combination of Yoshi, and some people are saying that Animal Crossing is a possibility, especially Animal Crossing. I believe that's one that can help push it. I mean, it's still hard for me to say 20 million, but it's to help push it as close as possible to the 20 million. Even if Fire Emblem comes out, I don't think Fire Emblem is going to be a big enough push, because it's not. It's more like a hardcore Nintendo.
It has grown,
game.
But it's more of a niche game. Yes.
Yeah, it still is, and I know that they're supporting it even more so when it comes to doing the Legends game, and also the Warriors, not the Legends, the Fire Emblem Warriors. It's doing the smartphone game as well. So hopefully some of the smartphone crowd are gonna migrate over to the Switch to continue to support Fire Emblem, and who knows? Yeah, I mean, what's gonna happen? There's a big deal about the Pokemon Let's Go, because of course the Pokemon Go crowd is the one that Nintendo's trying to pull into the system, but it's very hard to try to entice people that are getting a game for free, because Pokemon Go, it's free to play. Yes, if you run out of the Pokeballs and things like that, you can either purchase them or you can walk outside and try to collect some, and people would prefer paying for them instead of just walking quickly, outside.
Caleones, want to give a shout out. We don't know because we can't see every subscriber. We got 2 new subscribers during the stream. Appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing. Continue, Caleones.
Okay, but yes, I think they're gonna get it very, very close if they release. And I know Yoshi is pretty much done. They had the full showing on the Nintendo Treehouse right after the Smash Direct, so the game is basically done. It's going to be releasing on the first quarter, and I believe it's going to be in between January and March. But if they release Animal Crossing, they're going to get really close. That's going to be a game combined with Smash, combined with Pokemon, and maybe even a price drop for some of the the other games like the Super Mario Odysseys, the Zelda, the Splatoons, the Mario Karts. If they do a combination of those, maybe they're gonna get there. But something that we're not taking into consideration yet, or we haven't talked about, is the bundles that they're gonna have, because they're gonna have the Super Smash Brothers Ultimate Bundle. They're gonna have the Pokemon Let's Go bundle. They have released the Diablo 3 Eternal Collection bundle. They have the Fortnite bundle as well. So there's quite a few bundles out there that some people really want to get. One, because it comes with a game, so they're more prone to buying a system when it comes with a game, even though like Fortnite is already free, but still you get some extras on it. And two, there's people that, like we said, they just like to collect all the different variations of the Nintendo Switch and the dock, so they might be prone to purchasing those as well. So it's going to be interesting. Nintendo is setting it up to get it close. I believe that it's going to be around 18 million, which is great. 18 million is awesome when it comes to sales in a single year, but I'm not sure if they're going to get it quite close to the 20.
We shall see, Caleones. We shall see. But I can tell you with the numbers, what I'm reading, no later. You hear it right here. If I nail it, you guys let me know. But no later than 2020, Caleones, the Nintendo Switch Pro will come out, or whatever they call it. The Ultra Nintendo Switch or the Super Duper Nintendo Switch, whatever they call it, is coming out before 2020. So it's going to be interesting. We shall see. Nintendo has great games. I'll give them this credit. If there's something that may help them get close to that, is that they've done a way better job compared to the Wii U of balancing their own calendar. Because they're never going to get the same third-party support unless they bring a system that has the power, which Nintendo is not there for the power game. But they're doing pretty good on third-party this generation, I guess, or whatever you call the Switch generation is. I get confused now. But I'll say this. The Wii U, you were months waiting for any game to come out. And then the first-party games, even from Nintendo, were not distributed done. So it was hard. You were waiting for games. And I think Nintendo also, which hurt Nintendo, the Wii. Even though Caleones, you heard me. I love the Wii. We had great games. But the Wii decision for not being HD hurt the system, because then Nintendo had to learn to develop in HD during the Wii U era and really hurt the Wii U. Now you see them pumping out games faster. Hey, hell, Monolith Soft just pumped out freaking 2 Xenoblades in a 4-year span. That's crazy, right? That's you seeing them developing in HD faster and doing better. So we shall see how Nintendo's done. Hopefully they'll get close. I still say 15. Caleones says 18. We shall see who gets the mark, Caleones. But anyway, Caleones, with that, we're done with Hot Topics. We're almost close to 1 hour mark. So we have to quick clue. What's that? Also, say, yeah, what up? Well, welcome to the stream. And of course, Propenso, Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii. Yeah, that was the shit. That's what I would like to see. Remake. Anyway, Caleones.
Another remake.
No, there's no remake from the Switch version.
There's not Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, so.
It's not a remake, trust me. That game looks worse than the original. Anyway, with that said, Caleones, we're done with Hot Topics. So it's time to move, where we hit the news really fast on Anuma's News Burst. I still need to find a soundbite. Anyway, Caleones, what is the first piece of news on the News Burst today?
Well, the first piece of news is actually coming from the NPD and the best-selling games. This is for the U.S. And it's kind of like a throwback. Talking about the Nintendo 64.
They were giving you and this is a 2-for-1, Caleones.
Yeah.
When you heal this, talk about the rumors for the N64, and then we go there. And then while you do that, I'm gonna quickly get some water because I'm losing my voice.
So they're talking about, it's kind of like a throwback segment. They're talking about the NPD is talking about the best-selling games in the U.S. for the Nintendo 64 and the Game Boy Color. And this is coming from Matt Piscatella, which he is an NPD analyst. He's on Twitter, and if you have any questions, that you want to ask him, go ahead and go over to Twitter, ask him. He's really good at answering back as well. But he was talking about his list of Nintendo 64 games. For January 1995 through September of 2018, the top 10 games. Number one was Super Mario 64, and this is in sales wise. So the number one selling game on the Nintendo 64 was Super Mario 64. Then you had GoldenEye 007 at number or 007 at number two, Mario Kart 64 number three, Zelda Ocarina of Time at number four, Pokemon Stadium number five, Donkey Kong number six, Star Fox number seven, Super Smash Brothers number eight, Diddy Kong Racing number nine, and Star Wars Shadow of the Empire at number 10. So this is a time where, like games like GoldenEye and Pokemon Stadium, and even Donkey Kong and Star Fox were still ahead of Super Smash Brothers. So it is the first time Super Smash Bros. Came out. So of course, people were still getting acquainted with it, and it wasn't until technically Melee where everything exploded.
But still, Caleones, it's still like I got surprised with that list because GoldenEye was number two.
Number two.
And in my head, I would never consider GoldenEye like. Oh, sales wise, this is where you didn't follow the industry that well like we do now. Of course, we were kids then, but GoldenEye sold more than Ocarina of Time, which is considered one of the greatest games of all time. That is crazy to me. I know GoldenEye revolutionized, but still.
I was gonna say that because basically first party or first person shooters nowadays owe a lot to GoldenEye. And I had a lot of fun playing GoldenEye with the two Nintendo 64 controllers connected at the same time and using the two joysticks and everything. So the movement, I loved it, absolutely loved it on there. And playing 4-player death matches.
So quick question. So let's go quickly into the other one quickly. So N64, there's rumors that it's coming out. We just did a special because we feel it in our bones too that the N64 is coming out. That way you don't have to hit that news. And we can talk about it quickly, but there's rumors that the N64 is coming out and supposedly it's going to have 30 games. That's the part of the rumor that I don't agree with, but we shall see. Out of those games, they're on the list, the top 10 sellers. How many of them are going to be in the N64 Mini?
Well, it all depends if Banjo-Kazooie appears on Super Smash Bros. And the reason I say that is because it's hard for me to see rare games showing up on the Nintendo 64 Mini unless Nintendo makes some sort of deal with Microsoft. And the only way that you can get those is by maybe getting characters like Banjo-Kazooie or Steve for Minecraft appearing on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Steve doesn't really need all the promotion because Minecraft is going to end up possibly as the highest selling game of all time, but and it's going to be it's an eternal evergreen title anyways. But something like Banjo-Kazooie still needs a push, especially if they may be planning on releasing a new game, new Banjo-Kazooie games. It would help a lot by having him featured on Super Smash Brothers as well as appearing on the Nintendo 64 Mini. So I would say that out of those, I believe 8 of them. But it's kind of hard because I'm not sure how Diddy Kong Racing is working because some of the rights to Diddy Kong Racing did belong to Rare. Rare got sold to Microsoft, but I believe it could appear. So I'll say 8. The only 2 that probably won't be there are going to be GoldenEye 007 and Star Wars Shadow of the Empire, unless Disney allows the game to be released, and it's probably going to be called something like Star Wars Legends Shadows of the Empire, because they'd like to put the Legends title on everything that is not they don't consider canon now. So I hope that all 10 of them are going to be there, but I believe 8 of them.
I agree. I wish Shadows of the Empire. I like that game. I believe I wish it would be there, but that game did not age well. So when you see it in HD, if it shows up there, don't barf. And GoldenEye also, it looks a little bit rough too in today's standards, Caleones. But I agree, those 2 games, there's a higher chance with Microsoft making a deal that Banjo-Kazooie will be there. Diddy Kong Racing is probably going to be there. And Mario Kart also going to be there. So it's going to be interesting. Again, the N64 did not have that many games. Yeah, it had good games. It just didn't have that many of them, so it's not much to pick. And if there's 30 Caleones, they better pick them well, in a sense. But I will say this. I truly believe and this is coming from a Sony fan, I truly believe that the N64 list will be way better than the PS1 trash of a list that came out for the PS1 Classic. So, pick well, Nintendo. This is an easy slam dunk. Just pick the right games and pick your first-party games, which I stated that the reason the N64 should have better first-party games than the PlayStation Classic is because at that time, Sony did not have the strong first-party lineup that they have today. So the N64 should easily destroy the PlayStation 1 Classics. And more when you're PlayStation, you don't put games like Ape-Escape in there, which blows my mind still, which were
Gran
good
Turismo.
games. But N64, this is easy. Wipeout, yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, Gran Turismo. Why is Gran Turismo not there?
Gran Turismo, yeah, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, let's not fight that. This is not a PlayStation podcast, but I will say this is a slam dunk, Nintendo. Do it. You can do it. Just put the right games, and you'll be fine. But anyway, anything else to add before we move?
We have Ginny G saying over here that I thought Mario Party 3 was one of the best-selling games on there too. So that's that was surprising that it wasn't on there. But yeah, like you said, Nintendo has such a strong first-party lineup, and especially on the Nintendo 64, where it had a lot of revolutionary games. Yeah, so I mean, even a game like Super Mario RPG is going to be hard to be featured on here because it is.
You're saying Mario Paper Mario?
No, Super Mario RPG.
Mario RPG was
actually,
I'm
talking about
I remember. Mario RPG Super NES, and then they made their own RPG when the relationship with Square went sour. So they did Paper Mario, and I think Paper Mario should be on N64. So,
well, I'm gonna go ahead and use this as a cheap plug, guys. I'm gonna get the link that we had the discussion about the N64 a couple of weeks ago. I'm gonna post it on there on the chat. So if you guys want to go back, listen to it, and then tell us about your top, we kept it at
25 games.
25. So we kept it at 25. So if you want to give us your top 25 games on the N64 that you want to be featured on a mini console, then you can go ahead and do so. So
hey, Caleones, you don't know, but I did buy the Super NES Mini. I bought it.
So you got it?
Yeah, I bought it.
So you can. So you were after those RPGs, I guess.
Well, no, I bought it. It was in, like I said, I'm not gonna fight for anyone to find shit. I went to Best Buy. They had both. Now I think finally Nintendo is making enough consoles so you don't have to kill yourself to find one. And I went to Best Buy and they have both the NES and the Super NES Mini. And I thought, you know what? Super NES Mini is a nice console. I know I have my Retron 5 and I do have some physical Super NES games, but I'm not gonna. Today and day, it's hard to find all those Super NES games one by one.
Did you already open it and take it out of the box?
Yeah, I already.
Okay, so what do you think about it?
That's fine. I think I'm interested to buy a second one, but hack that one and emulate it. So you had all the emulators there, that you could do in the Super NES. That's maybe I'm thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Caleones? I wanted to keep one version, don't touch it. So that way, if something goes wrong in the hack, it's fine. And then the other one, try it out and see if I do it. We'll see. We shall see.
Well, and that's something that we actually didn't touch upon. And it's that Nintendo, they actually said how many mini consoles they sold. The Super NES Mini and the NES Mini. So in total, combining the sales of the Super NES Mini and the NES Mini, they sold a little over 10 million consoles. So that tells you there is a lot of demand for the classic consoles. There is a reason why PlayStation is releasing Sony is releasing their PlayStation 1 classic console as well. And that's because people like to have, one, is the access to games that otherwise would be expensive if they're buying them by themselves, or if you don't really want to go online, get the ROMs and things like that, you want to be you want to be legit and get those. So it's always appreciated if you guys do that. Please don't download from the internet. Try to get the mini consoles or try to buy them legitimately. So please support it that way. But yes, I'm not gonna fault Dantes if he buys two of them to go ahead and do that, because at least Nintendo is receiving the money for the two consoles, and that's one of the reasons why it's probably going to be, like I said, it's going to be interesting. And Nintendo may very well get to 20 million Nintendo Switch consoles sold because people like to buy more than one in certain cases.
You know, I was surprised about it. It was how small it is, right? Like, I knew it was small, but, you know, holding it in my hand, because I'm not used to holding small stuff in my hand. So I was surprised how small the system is. Anyway, but it's a nice console. I always said I'm interested on the N64 Mini if it comes out, because again, I did have the Retron 5, but there's not like an HDMI version that you could play those N64 games unless you emulate them, of course. So I wanted to, you know, see if we can get the N64 Mini, but you know, it's a nice console. I like it, to be honest. You know, I wish that you could really plug in for real, but you know, this is just to show for show. You take this off and then you plug it in. So anyway, nice console. But anyway, Caleones, go ahead. I think this is news burst and we're talking like hot topics on that one. Go ahead with the next one.
Well, next one is still going to be talking about the Nintendo 64 Classic.
Well, yeah, we cover that. Don't worry. Go with the next one.
No, but it's talking about the 5 games that they mentioned. Just throw them out there quick. And this is coming from I believe it's Gaming Intel. That one, the announcement is going to be imminent, and 2, that the games were going to be announced. We're going to be Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, Super Mario 64, Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, Puyo Puyo Sun 64, and Banjo-Kazooie, which is, if it does happen, that's going to be a big surprise.
The one that, but we shall see if these rumors are true. Everybody knows that they're going to bring an N64 Mini. For this, they have to. It's just, I'm with Caleones. I want to see that battle one last time. That's like, right now, Hulk Hogan against, I don't know, Ted DiBiase. 1-on-1. You know, they're all farts. They can barely walk, but they're gonna duke it out one last time. So that's the N64 and the PlayStation 1.
No. If the N64 Mini comes out this year, and I wish they would come out on the same day as the PlayStation Classic, it would be vintage Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior fight.
But remember, we're living in 2018. So again, those games didn't age well. So that's what I'm saying. It's like Hulk Hogan against Ted DiBiase. All farts coming. Oh, let's fight. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we barely can fight, but everybody wants to see it, right? So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's one thing. The games will be pretty ugly. I don't know about the frames, because the PlayStation didn't really have good frames. Like, you know, the FPS on that system wasn't really great. So I want to see that. If the N64 has something going for it, is because it had actually good frames per second with the games. But typically nowadays it's hard. It's a lot easier to go back to the pixelated games than it is for those first 3 games. But moving on to the next piece of news, and it's one of those that you might say is about damn time. And it's because YouTube, the application, might finally be coming over to the Nintendo Switch. And this is actually, it comes straight from the Nintendo 64 website. There's a placeholder with the YouTube logo in it. And it says that it's coming out on November 8th, which, if you guys are not, looking at the dates, it's actually 4 days from now. So YouTube on Nintendo Switch makes perfect sense. Hulu's already there. Anyways, at least, here in the U.S. territory. So, why not? Just, why not? That way we can see ourselves on Nintendo Switch as well.
Yeah. The only thing I'm going to say is, finally!
And I'm guessing that's all you were going to say since you said it. Okay, yeah.
That is it.
Yeah. So going over to the next one, and this is coming from the UK. It states that, game industry is saying that Starlink Battle for Atlas has fallen out of the top 40 in its second week on the UK. I'll say that, one, it is a little bit surprising because they're talking about, of course, the top 40, but at the same time, this is not Crash, where, yes, it comes out in multiple consoles and it's counted as, the games or the sales collectively, but it's, I don't know, it's Toys to Life. They haven't really had
I'll say this quick, guys. it doesn't look great. I may be wrong, but it feels a little bit like Lavo in a sense. There was a little bit of at first, but I think Toys for Lives are dead. Poor Star Fox. The problem is this doesn't sell. Are we gonna get a proper Star Fox someday? Because Nintendo, every time they look at Star Fox property right now, the Star Fox IP on that Wii U, that was rough. Now Starlink, it's not doing that great. Maybe sold well on the Switch. So Ubisoft could be thinking, I don't know about this. It just looks rough right now, and it appears the same in Japan and appears the same in the US. We shall see. I may be wrong, but we shall see.
Okay, something that I will say though is that we already had, like Target. They released their, some of their Black Friday ads. Black Friday is not going to be until the day after Thanksgiving, or actually the same day after Thanksgiving. I believe it starts at 5 p.m. until 1 a.m. The same day of Thanksgiving. But they had it on the ad. They actually had, Starlink's Battle for Atlas, and they had it instead of $74.99. They were selling it for $39.99. I know that this is not really going to be a game that you have to stand in line like 10 hours before the store opens so you can get it. It should be available, and it should be, a pretty good amount of copies there. But people might be looking at it and saying, you know what, this is something that I can live without for the next couple of weeks, even though I may want to play it because I can get it for half as much a month from now, during the Black Friday sale or, Cyber Monday or something like that. So do you think that maybe some of those sales being posted online and showing the game on sale like that could really be affecting its second and third week sales?
Don't know. Or it could be that they're already in the bargaining bin. I don't know, Caleones. Because a lot of people criticize Tomb Raider for reducing their price of the last game so fast, even though it didn't sell bad, but it didn't sell great either. So I don't know if that's a great sign or not. I don't know. I really don't. I think we're going to have to wait and see. What I'm saying hype-wise, right? I think it just came out in a bad time. You had Spider-Man taking September. The hype of Spider-Man was just awful that month of September. And now Red Dead just has taken October. Just destroyed every conversation that you could have. Red Dead, every corner of the video game interweb, right? So it just came out, I believe, Caleones. If this game would have came out in a summertime where there's nothing going on, maybe would have done better. That's my opinion. I don't know. We shall see.
Okay, moving over to the next one, and this is that the Edge magazine, the latest magazine that they've released, featured the score of a handful of games. Among those, they have Red Dead Redemption 2 at 10 out of 10, Assassin's Creed Odyssey 7 out of 10, Starlink Battle for Atlas 6 out of 10, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 7 out of 10, Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise 6 out of 10, Astrobot Rescue Mission, and this is one that we're gonna have to play, Dantes. They have it at a 9 out of 10. Super Mario Party.
That magazine is a pain in the ass to deal with.
Yes, it is. Super Mario Party 7 out of 10, and Return of the Obra Dinn at 9 out of 10. And I did say Astrobot. I'm just gonna take a quick look on here, and it still has a 90 on Metacritic. So it is a PSVR game. I know this is a Nintendo podcast, but it is. It has a lot of. It owes a lot to Super Mario 64 on the original Nintendo 64. So if you play it, people say that it's gonna feel like that to you, but in a revolutionary way because of the VR.
So I bought it. I have it. So
that's
one of the games that I'm planning to play on my vacation. Like my vacation this year, it's gonna be mostly VR games. So I bought. Let me see. I got him over here. I know this is a Nintendo podcast, but right here, this is Astrobot right here. But Moss too. So another good game that everybody says that you have to play on VR. And then I bought a couple of easy plats. Of course, the sequel to Batman, which the first one was really good, and I haven't tried Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'll play those. I want to get some some quick plats. These two games, even though it's on VR, they're also quick plats. I wanna see if I can build my plat count because of Nintendo Switch this year has destroyed my plat count. But yeah, I bought Astrobot, sorry. Astro Boy, that's a different. So yeah. But anyway, going back to the Nintendo portion of it, Red Dead Redemption is game of the year. Yeah, it could be. Also said VR made me sad. Why? Why did VR make you sad? Genie, of course, says Red Dead Redemption 2 is awesome. Everybody's saying that. I have to play it someday. I will say this. Going back to the Nintendo podcast, the reason we put that is quickly the Edge Mario Party at 7, right? That's not awfully bad from Edge. Again,
it's pretty good. It's actually the best rated Super Mario Party game since the N64 version, I believe.
Correct. And then Battle for Atlas, that took a 6. So again, Edge is tough, but of course they also gave Red Dead a 10 out of 10. We shall see how that goes. But anyway, Carlos, let's go to the next one because we're already an hour and 10 minutes into the podcast today.
Okay, and this is another one that is probably going to have us talking a little bit as well, even though we're trying to run through them. But this week actually had quite a few good pieces of news. This one is just a rumor. It's not confirmed. We are not going to know for certain until I believe is probably the 9th or the 16th of November. But Adi Shankar was teasing on his Instagram about a new show that he's working on. It is from a legendary Japanese company, and it is a legendary game. There's a lot of people that are thinking that he was talking about the Legend of Zelda series. It could be, other company, because I'm pretty sure you would consider Sega to be a legendary Japanese company. You would also consider, like Sony to be a legendary Japanese company, same as Capcom or Konami or Squaresoft or a bunch of others. So it's not just Nintendo. But yeah, the reason why they are talking about the Legend of Zelda is because the rap was the one that said that he is working on a Legend of Zelda series. And from what he said on his Instagram page, he said, I can confirm that I'm working with an iconic Japanese gaming company to adapt one of their iconic video game series into a series on November 16, which is going to be 12 days from now at 1 p.m. I'm going to announce what it is. I love you all. Thank you for, I kind of ran out of pages on here, but you get the gist of it. So basically, he is teasing a big announcement from an iconic Japanese gaming company about an iconic game. So I'll put it this way, Dantes. 1 to being the least likeliest, 2, 10 to being the most likeliest. Where would you put it as the possibility of the game that he's talking about being made into a series actually being The Legend of Zelda?
I don't know possibility-wise, but I wish it is. I hear great things about Castlevania. Maybe we can finally get away. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Eugenie. Maybe we can finally get away from, excuse me, princess. So I'm hopeful that is a Legend of Zelda series because I heard great things about Castlevania. I need to watch that series on Netflix. And that would be fire on Netflix, if it's Netflix or whatever, to have a Legend of Zelda. And maybe Nintendo is trying to break out of that shell. Again, it just blows my mind that you have the most powerful, iconic video games IP. Why are you not using those things into a more different realm? And this could be, you license this TV series, you find the right producers, you take it to the bank, Nintendo. You take it to the bank. And of course, we got the Mario movie being made by Illumination Studios too. So again, use those, and I'm hopeful that is Zelda. Just wanted to say one more thing before, because not to say I didn't get any love for Nintendo when I went on that shopping spree. I bought those games, but I also bought the Super NES Mini and the Mega Man collection for the Nintendo Switch because it just feels so wrong to play Mega Man any other place than a Nintendo console. So anyway, just saying that I also show love when I go on a shopping spree to my homeboys at Nintendo. Just saying. Anyway, Caleones, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, we're definitely not saying that because we want to review copies or anything like that from you, Nintendo. We're not. But yeah, like something interesting about Adi Shankar. Last year, he was actually talking about how much he wanted to make a Metroid show. So
Could be that too.
Could.
And there was news too that the actress who's playing Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Brie Larson.
Brie Larson, thank you, wants to do a Metroid movie type of deal. Again, Nintendo. Why are you not using those IPs? Yeah, it's just crazy. Use your IPs. You got people there just jumping at the bit of using your IPs and doing it right. Just have to find the right people. Just find the right people to do it, and you'll be fine. So anyway, go ahead, Kairos, with the next one.
Okay, going over with the next one, and this is talking about Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. Capcom said that it has had, unquote, strong sales in markets outside of Japan. They didn't really say exactly how much the series has sold, but they're just going by their quote. They are saying that they reported a successful year, and quote, net sales increased to 42.327 million yen over year over year, and I mean that they're talking about yen, so yen to dollar is a different translation. But as far as Monster Hunter World, they said specifically that it's the first game that it has surpassed the 10 million copies sold in the first one in history for Capcom. And as far as Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, of course, they didn't really specify, but they said that it's been selling well. So I don't know.
The thing I'm gonna say this is just to close out that news quickly: is Japanese companies don't westernize your games. Because in reality, your Japanese games are selling well here in the West, even more than in the East. So, really, you see it with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. You've seen it with Monster Hunter Generations. You keep seeing it with other games too, like East and stuff like that. Don't change your games. And Sony, stop censoring shit. Let me just put it out there right now. Stop censoring shit. But anyway, just saying. Bring them. They're selling well in the way. So they're selling way better than I think. Again, you see a company after company just saying they're surprised how well they sell in the West. So don't be surprised. There is a good niche, strong market here in the West. Just sell to them.
Okay, going over with the next one, and this is actually a sad piece of news. I know that not many people have heard of him, but Mario Sigel. I'm not sure if I pronounced the last name correctly, but he's actually passed away. Yep. And yes, he was 84 years old, but he is the one that inspired Shigeru Miyamoto and Nintendo to use the name of Mario for the Nintendo's most iconic character, and I'll say gaming's most iconic character. So that was back in 1981. And he was the landlord of the warehouse where Nintendo of America was operating. At that time, Mario Sigel, thank you for for giving us your name to what Mario is nowadays.
For giving Shigeru Miyamoto the future of gaming, right? Anyway, but
for
it's still sad news.
For signing the lease so they can use the building.
Yes, correct. But hey, rest in peace. I think you will always be known. Your name, at least, is going to be iconic forever and ever. So I think that's more than anybody of us is going to get in this lifetime. So congrats on that, and hope you rest in peace. Go ahead, Caleones, with the next one.
Okay, well, and the next one is actually going to be the last one. Mm-hmm. And this is talking about Minecraft Story Mode Season 2 will be launching on the Nintendo Switch on November 6th, which is going to be 2 days from now. The game itself, they're talking about it has a file size of 5.9 gigabytes. And I'm not sure how this is going to continue. I know that, with Telltale gone and everything, and how that's going to affect the games that you purchase, because you got the Guardians of the Galaxy, you got the next Batman game as well. So I'm not sure.
They'll keep the servers going, because remember that's minimum expense, and you get more money back. And this just shows that, right? Because they're giving you Minecraft Season 2, and that's why I put it there. It's just to show you guys, I know it sucks. Telltale is gone. But you can still buy their games. You can still play them, and it will help them. I don't know if I want to say help them, because I know there are a lot of horror stories how they treated their developers, but maybe help them get the money they need to finally give those developers who got fired some severance, right? So maybe we can see it that way.
Okay, so, and like I said, Dantes, we are done with the news.
So we are done. That means let's move quickly, because we're already an hour and 20. Let's move quickly to our favorite supermarket, Chigaro's Supermarket. Bing. Go ahead, Caleones. What are the games this week? Some good games. This week is it's fire. So go ahead, Caleones.
Well, it is better than last week, of course, but we have the games releasing this week: Tennis World Tour, Skyscrapers, Professional Farmer for the Nintendo Switch Edition, Yomawari The Long Night Collection, Wheel of Fortune, Trivial Pursuit Live, Steven Universe Save the Light, Sports Party, Save Me, Mr. Taco, Tasukere Taco-san, Risk Global Domination, OKKO, Let's Play Heroes, Mutant Football League Dynasty Edition, Lego Harry Potter Collection, Jeopardy, Hasbro Game Night, Gal Metal World Tour Edition, Gal Metal, well, not the Tour World Edition, so it's still kind of like the special edition in the game. Same thing. Demons Crystals, America's Greatest Game Shows, Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy together, the collection, Numbala, Knock Knock, Hidden Folks, Death Mark, Transistor, Machinarium, Kitty Love, Way to Look for Love, Green Fandango Remastered, Neo Geo's Pleasure Goal, 5-on-5 Mini Soccer, Taiko no Tatsujin, Drum and Fun, Swap This, Elemental Knights R, and Diablo 3 Eternal Collection. I know that Dantes is going to be biased on this, but Dantes, give us your game of the week.
Diablo, no. Transistor is my game of the week. But I hear a lot of good things about Diablo. People are getting hooked with Diablo on the Switch. So a good week. You have to admit that Diablo to me is the game of the week for sure, just because of the hype, because of people playing it. But I just want to mention Transistor, so you don't sleep on that game. People buy that game. That is one of the best indie games this generation. One of my favorite games this generation. Great freaking game. I'm going to buy it again to support the developer because super massive games are awesome developers. So again, Transistor, people go buy it, go support it on the Switch. But of course, Diablo has to be the game of the week. That's a big game coming out from the third party side.
Well, so far, Transistor has an 85 Metacritic score on the Nintendo Switch at this moment with 6 positive reviews, and Diablo 3 Eternal Collection has an 87 Metacritic score with 35 critics, 34 of those positive, then 1 negative. They're just trolls. Slam Magazine, they're trolls. They gave Red Dead Redemption 2 a 7 out of 10, I believe, as well. So they're looking for clicks. Don't click on their website. Don't click on them. They help them.
Okay. Just opinions, Caleones. It's just opinions. It was still funny, right? Because still people still haven't forgotten Jim Sterling for the Zelda Breath of the Wild. He made a video just last week. That's what I was telling you to go watch that video about, the detail in gaming and stuff like that. And he brought up Zelda Breath of the Wild. Again, brought up that he did not like the weapon durability system on Zelda Breath of the Wild. And people again got on him. Again, I was laughing my ass off on the comment section. So go watch that. People, don't take reviews that seriously. If your favorite game don't get the review that you want, it's okay. You will be fine. You'll survive. Anyway, Caleones, are we done, right? We are done now. And let's start the ending, of course, with a little bit of some of that fire Xenoblade music. I've been replaying Xenoblade Chronicles 2 right now, and that music it's just fire. Every time I fire. Nothing close right now, this generation of music-wise. Anyway, thank you again for joining us on another episode of the Get In and Get Out Nintendo Podcast, episode 68. One more. Next week is the big show, right here at the Force In Unison gaming channel. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment, and hit that bell so you can make these two crazy MFs happy. Also, hey, let's do this quick celebration. Thank you. 1K subscriptions. We're at 1.05 right now. No, I'm joking. We're at 1.0005. But no, I appreciate it. It's a long road that we got to 1K. It took us a year and a half to get there. But we appreciate it. We really do. We enjoy talking about video games. That's what we're here to do. And, hopefully you guys keep, coming in this journey. And let everybody know. Let your dog, your grandma, your mom, your dad, everybody know so they can subscribe and help us out.
Yeah,
Maybe
create
someday we
20
can.
different accounts each and subscribe.
Yeah. So maybe someday we'll make something happen about this because we really are passionate about video games and we like to talk about them. So, and mostly this show. This is my favorite show of what I do in this channel, no doubt about it. Me and Caleones just sit down and talk about video games, talk about Nintendo, which we both love. So again, keep supporting this because you can get this podcast on iTunes and SoundCloud for free. Rate us over there so you can show them some love. Also, go to the description box below so you can see the full channel schedule. Remember, tomorrow, PlayStation Mondays, I will continue some Spider-Man for your entertainment. Wednesday, Nintendo Wednesday. Friday, Fortnite Friday. Saturday, Force In Unison stream. Also, Facebook page, Caleones. We visited there sometimes, once in a while, at Force In Unison Gaming. And finally, and Dantes says finally, go to forceinunison.wordpress.com and give some clicks and love to my boy, Caleones. With all that said, thank you again for joining us, and long live Nintendo. See you guys.